All right. As we work through the final exam review guide here, next to the problem numbers, I list the unit the question's from and the section that it's located at. That way, if you want to go to Blackboard, you are able to do that and look up the concept. Okay? So in this first section, we're trying to decide whether they are growth or decay. Okay, so we just want growth or decay. So to answer these questions, you're using y equals ab to the x. So we're going to take some initial value. This is your initial value. And b is your multiplier. Okay, so b is what your main focus is going to be on. If you're multiplying via value where b is greater than 1, it's going to get bigger, because if you multiply something by a number bigger than 1, such as 2, when you multiply it by 2, the number gets bigger. If your b value is greater than 0 but less than 1, so that would be like a decimal or a fraction between 0 and 1, like a half, a third, a fourth, that's going to decay. So our main focus here is going to be on the b value, and that's the one that's raised to the power. So since this is 1.5, it's greater than 1, that's growth. Since this is 0.87, that's less than 1, that's decay. 0.75, less than 1, that's decay. And 2.25, that's bigger than 1, that's growth. So that's your first section on the test. You're just going to be multiple choice, and they're going to ask you about growth and decay, and you just have to be able to decide which is which. Okay? And the second one here, they give you a formula, and it says A represents the amount of money, N is the number of years, P is the amount of money that's being invested, R is the rate. So all we're going to do is plug in to this formula. So A equals P, again, is an amount of money being invested, so that's going to be $1,000 here. And that's getting multiplied by 1 plus your R, which is your rate. Your rate here is 8%, but you're going to need to switch that to a decimal, so you have to move it over 2 spots. Okay, so that's 0.08, 0.08, and then that's raised to the n power, and n, recall, n was the number of years, and here that's 3 years. So now we're going to plug that into our calculator. So on your calculator, we have 1,000 parenthesis 1 plus 0.08 to the power of 3. We get an answer. So this is 1,000, which should be at least 1,000, $259.71. Okay, so there is your answer for number 2. Okay. The third question also comes from unit number 7. This one we're using a different formula. This is the PERT formula, principal times e to the RT power. Okay, so P is the principal. So here, your principal is 7,000. Again, that's the amount of money that you're either borrowing or investing. E is a number. It's going to be on your calculator. And on your calculator here, E is located on the LN button. It's right above. It says e to the x. That's the button we'll be using. So that's a number. To the power of R times T. So R is your rate. So this is your rate. And we need to switch that to a decimal. So that's 0.06. So that's 0.06. And then that's going to get multiplied by t, and t is time. So this is your t. So that's 5. So when you go to plug this into your calculator, you're going to do 7,000 e, and it's going to say, when you hit the e, it's going to be e to the power of, and it's going to open parentheses. Make sure you put the 0.06 and then multiply it by 5. So let's look at entering that in the calculator. Clear that out. 7,000 times second function, ln, which gets you e to the power, 0.06 times 5. And there we go. So our final answer here is $9,449.01. Okay? So those are the first 3 problems that were covered in Unit 7.